Ah, hello. How are you doing? Yes, it's the old git here, Mike Hall from Best Before TV. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. Today I'm going to talk about a politician that I think is probably one of the best politicians uh, since, well, for the last 100, at least the last 50 years. And his name is Nigel Farage, or to give him his full title, his name is Nigel Paul Farage. He's born on the 3rd of April 1964, and I think he's around about age 60, in Farnborough in Kent in England. And just give a bit of his background before we get into the man himself, and we will be getting into the man. His sort of political, his affair with politics started around about 1978 when he joined the Conservative Party, and he stayed there till 1992, and he left the Conservative Party and he joined in 1992 the Anti-Federalist League. Well, I've never heard of that, so I'm not going to delve into it, but from 1992 to 1993 he was involved in that for a year, and then after that he joined a very significant party, or he formed the party, UKIP. And UKIP was the engineering party to get Brexit done, to do Brexit for the UK. And he formed a little bit of a coalition, so to speak, to get the Brexit vote with the Conservative Party. And he stood some of his politicians, some of his people down so they wouldn't win the seats, and it would give the overall majority to the Conservatives so they could get Brexit done. Well, that was no good, was it? Because it's never been done yet. It's still not done, and it probably will never ever be done. Anyway, that was UKIP, and then he took time out from that and went and stood again as an independent, and I think 2018 to 2019, and he then, I think he come fourth. He's married, and I think he's been married twice, and he's got 4 children, and he went to Dulwich College. So let's take the mickey out of him a bit now, shall we? And let's have a look at some photographs of him from now and his younger days. So here we go. Nigel Farage in true colour. No, my Nigel Farage picture, just to take a bit of mickey out of it, shall we do that? Here he is. And let's go back to the beginning, because that's not the picture that I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you first. Where we go? Let's not show you the right one. Not that one. This one. 18 months old Nigel Farage. That's the man. 18 months old, and he's already picking up driftwood and saying, "Don't you send any boats over here from France, because if you do, I'll throw this piece of wood at you." That was when he was 18 months old. Moving on to the next picture, which is this one. He was a cadet, an army cadet, I was told, and he looks very, very professional there, doesn't he? Standing to attention, ready for action, as he always is. And I suppose he enjoyed that. He doesn't mind admitting his past, and he did have some quite radical views when he was a young man. He actually he was a member of various organisations, but like us all, he grew out of it. I mean, all I could think about then was whether I was going to be a mod or a rocker, and I turned out to be a mod because they had smarter clothes, and I like motor scooters, good style. But never mind, I digress, as I always do. That's him as a cadet in his younger years. Let's move it on a little bit more. As you can see him, he's a total animal lover, loves to go out fishing, which he does often, or he did often. I think he's more tied up with what his political thing right now. And you can see the scarf round there. Come on, England. He's a big football supporter. Likes to go out for a pint in the pub. In fact, he used to do a programme, and I think he doesn't do it now because he's standing for Parliament. He, with a television station called GB News, and he had a programme where he used to sit in a pub and talk about politics and things and all the things that are going on over a pint. He loves a pint. And he likes to get up and close and personal with all people. His security people he must be a nightmare because he's been round and a few things have happened to his detriment. That's Nigel. Well, here he is. We're trying to get this. There he is, in all his glory, ready for action. Nigel Farage. Now, he was educated in a school in Dulwich called Dulwich College, and what I'll do is I'm going to play you their little advert about the type of school he went to, so that you get the idea of what he did at school, or what the school he went to, and the type of education that he got. Probably wasn't his choice, but let's have a look anyway.
I'm Dr. Joe Spence, the Master of Dulwich College. I've been Master here since 2009, and I'm enjoying driving the college forward towards its 400th anniversary in 2019. I'm often asked, what is the essence of a Dulwich education? And it's a pleasure to give you a sense of what I think it is. I think it begins with a sense of value. You've got to value every child and find ways in which to ensure that each of them can reveal their potential, whether it be scholarly or sporting, entrepreneurial or artistic, or adventurous, or something which shows that they have a great sense of social conscience. And our job is really to ensure that through the school there is a sense of learning that both teaches to the test and that goes beyond that. You'll hear as you talk to people of Dulwich of deep learning and creative learning. And what I've added to this mix is what I call free learning, the learning that goes on beyond the classroom. And although we will pay attention to the public exams when they come along and make sure the boys are ready to fulfill their potential within them, the real excitement comes from what they can do within their classes and beyond them, in their clubs and societies, in the national competitions we might enter them for, in their trips and expeditions. And to me, this is that sense that links school with what goes on beyond Dulwich, because equally important in a school today is preparing boys for the world of work and the long lives of work and of leisure that they've got to come.
So here we are back again. Dulwich College. Let's talk about Dulwich College. I know it quite well, actually, because at one time I used to live in Crystal Palace in London, which is just down the road from, or up the road from Dulwich, and Dulwich Village, very nice village, and Dulwich College they do a lot for the local community. They take in lots of boys who probably can't afford to go to private school. They give them the scholarships and what have you. They've also, I'm told, that they've got a sister school in Singapore. How true that is, I don't know. I'm not sure because I haven't checked the fact. But there you go. So that's the school that Nigel Farage went to, and the education that he got. So it was pretty good. The other thing that's good about it is that sometimes when you've been to private and all boys school, you know, you get a little bit stuffy. But he's not. He's a proper man of the people. He knows about the people. He was a very successful businessman, and still he gave up a lot to become a politician because his heart's in it and he understands what people want. He goes towards the people. He isn't there to make himself look wonderful, okay? He's there to do the job, which I believe a lot of politicians are only there to get their expenses and what have you. Right, so, and get a good wage and do the things that they want to do, and not what you want them to do. You elect them, then they do what they want. I always go off at a tangent, but who cares? I like doing these videos anyway. So we've seen the school. Now, Nigel Farage is somebody who speaks his mind, and he doesn't care. He'll say it the way it is. If you like it, fine. If you don't, it's still fine. He's still going to say it. And just to show you the type of man and how he can, the type of orator he is, the type of, if he's going to say it, he's going to say it out, damn the consequences, because he believes in what he speaks about. So let's have a look at this speech. This is a speech he made in the European Parliament in the time that Brexit was coming along, and I think you'll find this entertaining, and it shows you he doesn't stand down for anybody.
Good morning. Funny, isn't it? Funny, isn't it? Isn't it funny? You know, when I came here 17 years ago, and I said that I wanted to lead a campaign to get Britain to leave the European Union, you all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you? And the reason you're so upset, the reason you're so angry, has been perfectly clear from all the angry exchanges this morning. You, as a political project, are in denial. You're in denial that your currency is failing. You're in denial. Well, just look at the Mediterranean. No. As a policy to impose poverty on Greece and the rest of the Mediterranean, you've done very well. And you're in denial over Mrs. Merkel's call last year for as many people as possible to cross the Mediterranean into the European Union has led to massive divisions between countries and within countries. But the biggest problem you've got, and the main reason the United Kingdom voted the way that it did, is you have, by stealth, by deception, without ever telling the truth to the British or the rest of the peoples of Europe, you have imposed upon them a political union. Now I know that virtually none of you have ever done a proper job in your lives, or worked in business, or worked in trade, or indeed ever created a job. But listen, just listen. If you were to decide to cut off your noses, to spite your faces, and to reject any idea of a sensible trade deal, the consequences would be far worse for you than it would be for us. And even no deal is better for the United Kingdom than the current rotten deal that we've got.
Well, there you see the man in action, eh? That's the man in action. That's the man that I wish could be the next Prime Minister of England. Probably won't. You're probably going to get a terribly left-wing party which is totally woke, doesn't know what... A Prime Minister can't decide whether a woman has got a penis or she hasn't, or he has, or I don't know. He's just totally confused. And to me, I like somebody who tells it the way it is, the old style politician, and that's what Nigel Farage is. Now, he's, as I said, for me, he's an absolutely brilliant man, and he really told them off in the European Parliament, and told them us. And I like what he said, none of you have ever had a real job. No, because they're scroungers. They like to sit there like the Westminster politicians and get paid, have a chat on a Wednesday, and lots of expenses. But never mind, we will probably get over it, and hopefully he does well. So let's have a look at the man now, when he's out there doing his campaigning for the Reform Party. Just a little clip I picked up, and I thought I'd show you this. He's still the same. He doesn't change. He says it the way it is, and there's no auto cues involved with him. He says what he wants.
Good morning, Maidstone. Welcome to the heart of the Garden of England on a beautiful midsummer's day. This constituency has very fond political memories for me, because the Member of Parliament here from 1950 until 1987 was called Sir John Wells. And later on in life, Sir John came to see me. He'd been very pro the common market, very pro the EEC, and he came to see me late in life and said, I think I've made a terrible mistake and I want to correct it. And Sir John joined me as a member of UKIP. So that was one good start. But then, of course, from 1987, somebody else was the Member of Parliament for Maidstone, and she's quite well known, isn't she? Famous for Strictly Come Dancing, famous for being unafraid of pretty much anything or anybody, and actually I think she's something of a national treasure. And isn't it great that Anne Widdecombe is so pro-Reform UK? Now, this whole campaign I've been talking about the things that matter in life: family, community and country. And so I want to make a little announcement about family. Yesterday was June the 23rd, the 8th anniversary of Brexit. June the 23rd is Brexit Day. It's worthy of celebration. But it was also, yesterday, my first grandchild was born. So, I don't think I'm ever going to forget when his birthday is or when the Brexit anniversary is. You might have noticed that we're doing rather well. There is a momentum. We are the subject of conversation around the family breakfast table. There's more conversation about reform, about me, I guess, than there is anything else going on in this campaign. I guess that's partly because Sunak and Starmer are simply so monotone, so dull, so boring, and don't say anything particularly believable. But it's also because, as the new kids on the block, we've stunned everybody just how quickly we've leapt, and on Friday we saw the first opinion poll putting us on 20%, and it was the fourth poll in 3 days that had us lying in second place across the entire United Kingdom.
Well, so engrossed I was listening to it. That's actually only a short clip of a very long speech, but I'm not doing the party political thing. That's the longer speech. I'm just showing you the style of the man. And again, he speaks from his heart, and he's a great man. Now, something else that you don't see the politicians do. For example, we've got so many of these migrants coming over from wherever. Half of them we don't know where they're from, and they're basically they're ruining the country. And when you say things like I've just said, you're labelled as a right winger, as a racist, a bad person. You shouldn't say that. These are escaping war. No, they're not. They're all coming from France. There's no war in France, is there? But on saying that too, I'm not anti-immigration. I believe that we should have immigration, but we should have immigration. See, I'm getting angry now. Don't want to get angry. And if I get angry, then things happen, you see, don't they? What can I say? Things happen, crazy people pop out of the woodwork, like, there you go. What's happening? I don't know. Well, I can't help it. It's just a bit of fun. And I'm just getting a little tired now of people calling people names that believe in what we believe in. We believe. Hello. These things keep popping up. I don't know why. No, let's get back to being serious, shall we? No, you're called an ultra right wing and all sorts, but it's not just affecting me. And me, it doesn't affect because I live in Spain. But people, the original people who went to England, the original immigrant people that came from all over the place, they came legally and they settled and they've raised a family and they've paid their tax and they've become part of the society to the most part, but they've assimilated. Some haven't, but again, that's a different program. But they are now suffering the same as any other person who lives in the UK. You cannot get a doctor's appointment. You cannot get to see a consultant, or you can't get into hospital. Your You can't get diagnosed for your cancer on time. People are dying. They're waiting months and months and years for operations. That's just on the NHS. School places. The schools are stretched, state schools, because there's just so many people. It's got to the point now where things are getting pretty bad, and everybody's suffering. Everybody who's paid into the system is now, they've gave up so much, and they're getting so little back after 30 years of working, and the people who are coming have given nothing, but they're getting so much, and it's making people very angry, and it doesn't matter what denomination you are, it doesn't matter where you originate from, it's affecting you, and it can't carry on. The country is full, and he knows, Nigel Farage, he knows, and so does the people of the Reform Party, and unless he gets anywhere near at least being the opposition in Parliament, it's going to be a very rocky ride for most of us, or most of you. I live in Spain, I'm okay, but I still care about the country. So, how many politicians would be out in the North Sea and watching these migrants come? Well, Nigel goes out there quite often, and he's there checking them out, like he is here.
The tally as of last night was 49,964 that have come since Rishi Sunak became Prime Minister. But with the white boat there, just behind us, that will take us through the 50,000. We are still in French waters. This big red vessel to the left is contracted with the French government, and they've now been escorting this boat for about 3 hours. So despite the £500 million we've given the French to stop the boats, literally, once these things are afloat, the French Navy, or assets owned by the French Navy, make sure they safely get to our 12-mile line where Border Force pick them up. And this particular practice is outrageous. So what, we should never have given 500 million quid to allow the French Navy to act as aiders and abettors to criminal trafficking gangs. It is just weakness on behalf of the British government that's got us here. We shouldn't be accepting anybody. Under the law of the sea, these are illegal vessels. They're a danger to other shipping. We've already heard reports, shipping lane, ships being told you must move course, there's a migrant boat. They're a danger to themselves. Every one of these should have been picked up and taken the first place of safety, namely the French beach.
Well, there you go. That was I attribute that clip to the Times. They obviously were out with Nigel filming that, and he goes out often and he keeps a check on how many people are coming. I don't know exactly when that was filmed, but it's been during the last Prime Minister's tenure, Rishi Sunak, and that's 18 months. So those figures were whatever they were, but I mean they've just gone colossal right now. And I've even been told, or even people are saying now, that if a left wing or the Labour government get into Parliament, amongst the immigrants waiting in France now, they are waiting for the Labour government because they know that they'll be welcomed with open arms. So the country's going to be destroyed, simple as that. That it's terribly sad. But anyway, I digress. This is what I've got to say about Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage, for me, is a man who speaks from his heart. He's a patriot. He stands for his country. He stands firm. He doesn't digress like me. And hopefully he will make some headway into knocking some sense into the Parliament, the UK's Parliament. So I think that's about all I've got time for. I'm sorry that I do get it wrong sometimes, but I'm not a professional. I'm doing my best, and I'm an old guy. Don't forget to go and watch my television station, Best Before TV, and you can get there by just going bestbeforetv.com, or go to Rumble. Rumble is fantastic. Rumble social media, and you can watch it on there, Best Before TV, and basically I'll be seeing you. It's time for me to go. Hope I haven't bored you too much, but there you go. Think on. There's still some good people in the world, people like Nigel Farage, and hopefully people will vote for him in the UK. If they do, they'll end up a lot better off than they are now. Till the next time, it's the old Git saying, I've had me rant. See you soon. Bye.